Hello everyone, this is Krishna Priya, and today in this video we'll learn about how to use a platform log collector on Linux environment. So the agenda will be we'll understand what is a platform log collector and what are the different use cases or scenarios where you can use this platform log collector, what are the different modes it has, the steps required to run the platform log collector, and then I'll show you a demo of how to use a platform log collector, ending up with the summary. So let us understand about a platform log collector. It is a Java-based tool that will help you to collect the logs on the Informatica server machine. So we already had a utility to collect the logs as known as an infa logs or infa9 logs. So this is much more better utility that is created by the GCS for collecting the logs. So here we can modify the number of days that logs should be collected, example domain log or the service logs, and we have multiple modes. According to the modes the logs will be collected. Not only that, we can also collect the OS level information or the EBF file and few basic system settings. Along with the log collection and OS level information, it will also help us to collect the JSTACs and heap dumps on the service processes. When can we use this platform log collector? We can use it during the job failure to collect the logs that are required for the job failures, for domain logs during the domain startup failure, domain and service logs during the service failures, application log and job logs for specific number of days. So moving on to the modes, platform log collector can be operated in multiple modes. They are light mode, full mode and comprehensive mode. So each of these modes have their own configurations, and depending upon the configurations, the logs or the stacks will be collected. For example, if we go for a light mode, the domain log, job logs will be collected for 1 day and JSTACs will be collected for the service processes. But the remaining will not be collected as they are configured as false. Similarly, full mode and comprehensive mode will also collect the logs and the stacks according to the configurations. So these configurations can also be modified as these are the default configurations. So these are the steps that are required for you to run a platform log collector. So the very first step is we will navigate to the folder where the platform log collector is available. So it's under tools, debug tools, platform log collector. So once we navigate there, we will verify if our infa home variable is set. So once it is set, then we need to run the command to start the platform log collector. So it is run .sh if it is Linux and bat for Windows, and mode like we can set the light or full or comprehensive mode here, the username, password and the security domain. Now let's see how can we run the platform log collector. So as I told you earlier, first of all, we need to navigate to the location where the platform log collector is available. So if you see here, I am under tools, debug tools, platform log collector. So the next step is to verify if our infa home is set. So I will verify if my infa home is set. As you can see, my infa home is currently not set. So now I will set it to the location where my Informatica server is installed. So now my infa home is also set. So next is to run the platform log collector. But before we run the platform log collector, we will verify the configuration file. So the configuration file is a Groovy file, and we will be able to see the default configurations for the mode in that file. To look into that file from the platform logs collector folder, we need to go to the config folder. So under this config folder, you will find a Groovy file which will have the configurations of the modes. It's called as infalog collector config.groovy. So inside this Groovy file, we will be able to configure the directory where the log should be written, and also you will be able to see the configurations of the different modes. So you can also change the configuration of the modes according to the use case. So here first I will search for the output directory. So this is, it is like output folder. So if you see here, you can see it output folder. For the Linux, you can give the directory where you want the logs to be written, but make sure you give them under double quotes. So in this config file, I have also made changes to the light mode according to my use case. So we can also make changes to the modes. If you want to collect stacks in light mode, you can make stacks to true. If you want to collect OS commands in the light mode, you can make OS commands to true. Or in the full mode, you want the domain logs to be 7, but the job logs to be for 1 day. You can make that also as 1 day. So for that, now I will show you. I wanted to collect the OS commands, so I have made that to true, and I'll search for light. Yeah. So here we can, this is where we can define our configurations. Here it's already defined of the default configurations. You can change them. So as I told, I want to collect the OS commands in the light mode. I have made it to true from false. So once you configure your Groovy file, you will come out of the configs folder, and then we can run the run.sh file. So you can see the run.sh file, it will need the mode what you want to run, the user name and the password along with the security domain. So here I would like to run it in light mode, and I've given my username and password, and my domain security domain is native. So we will start collecting the platform log collector in the light mode. So once we run the platform log collector, so it will give in the output, we will see what all it is collecting. So as we have mentioned it to run it in light mode, so it has provided that it is started running in light mode, and its default configurations, as we have selected for voice commands to true, you can see it is set to true, and the output folder is set to /root, and it will start collecting all the details according to the configurations. So I'll show you how it collects the stacks for the process also. So if you see, it has already started collecting the stacks for one of the process ID, and you will see in the output directory, so which process is all it has collected the stacks. So at the end of this platform log collector, it will also show where it has created the file and the name. I've navigated to the location where the logs are created. They've been created under the root directory, which is the directory I have provided in the Groovy files for the logs to be created. I can see my OS commands outputs as soft limit, hard limit, env var, and vstat, along with the stacks. Info dump nothing but the stacks on the processes, jstacks, and I also see my node file, which is the log file, info log slide log file for the domain and your service logs. And the files, first file will contain your ebf history, node metadata.xml details. So that was the demo about how can we run a platform log collector and what are the modes that are involved and how can we configure them. You can read more about the platform log collector in the readme.file that will be available under tools, tools platform log collector. You can provide the feedback for the video at supportvideos@informatica.com, also at our Twitter account, InfoSupport. Thank you.